They that trust in the Lord shall be as Mount Zion, which cannot be removed, but abideth forever. As the mountains are round about Jerusalem, so the Lord is round about his people from henceforth even forever. For the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth their hands unto iniquity. Do good, O Lord, unto those that be good, unto them that are upright in their hearts. As for such as turn aside unto their crooked ways, the Lord shall lead them forth with the workers of iniquity, but peace shall be upon Israel. The psalm deals with the beginning of the millennium, and note especially from henceforth even forever, verse 2, which stuck right in front of the critic's face, so they would know where he is. See Psalm chapter 131 verse 3 and Isaiah chapter 9 verse 7 and Isaiah chapter 52 verse 1. This situation is the Mount of Olives on the east, representing prayer, the east ridge on the other side of the valley of Jehoshaphat, representing judgment, Mount Scopus on the northern side, and the hill of evil counsel, so-called, on the south side of the city, representing respectively the crucifixion and betrayal. There is no peace on earth till the city of peace has peace. The real Mount Zion, Hebrews chapter 12 verse 22, will abide even after the heavens and the earth have melted with a fervent heat, 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 10, and the earthly Mount Zion will probably be renovated, so that it's still there on the new earth, Revelation chapter 21 verses 1 to 6. God remains around his people from Revelation chapter 19 to Revelation 22. For at the final revolt of Gog and Magog, Revelation chapter 20 verses 7 to 9, he destroys the rod of the wicked, verse 3. In this time, Bible commentator Bullinger is correct in locating the doctrinal reference to the wicked, verse 3, as the son of perdition in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Notice the works element in the millennium, totally missing from the church age, meaning this age. Paul says, there is none that doeth good, Romans chapter 3 verse 12. But in the millennium there are good folks who do good. The upright in heart, in the passage verse 4, have had the Spirit poured out on them, Acts chapter 2 verse 17, and the world will be under a set of regulations, Matthew chapters 5 to 7, that demand more righteousness than that of the Pharisees. The Sermon on the Mount is the constitution for the kingdom found in Psalm chapter 125. There are two classes found here that are found nowhere in this age, the righteous and the wicked, verse 3, exactly as you had them in the Old Testament under the law. Millennial salvation is not by grace through faith. And if 500,000 Baptists or more from 40 Anno Domini until now thought otherwise, it would no more affect the truth. Of course, there are again and always some devotional things we may glean from any passage. Firstly, saints obviously can yield to pressure, verse 3. Peer pressure is what does it in the high schools, and watching successful crooks in the business world is what does it after college. The influence of people like Michael Jackson, John Lennon, Madonna, Elvis Presley, Bing Crosby, Hank Williams, Frank Sinatra, Pete Rose, and Joe Namath, and many others on teenagers is absolutely incalculable. Secondly, the prayer is not for those who just do good, but those who do good with the right motive for doing good, verse 4. Observe that doctrinally verse 5 refers to Luke chapter 12 verse 46, which again for the fifth time fixes the doctrinal position of the psalm. A great deal could be said about verse 3 in relation to Proverbs chapter 29 verses 2 to 12. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. What comes to history of humankind, and this day also, and I can say future, you can compare these, for example, these two verses, almost every government, and you can see the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Finally, to show how really barren and pointless the commentators are on this psalm, observe that verse 5 is the subject matter, especially in one Old Testament book, and that book is Proverbs. And again we can easily say, let God be true, but every man a liar. Amen.